Hello, welcome back to Open Brave Learning. This is the first of the sewing episodes, where I'll be talking to you about the two ways that I got my start in sewing, and this is only just recently. I chose these two methods because they're probably the most accessible to everybody. They were definitely the most accessible to me. Those two methods were from a store-bought pattern, and the other method was from an online tutorial. The online tutorial I picked was from Cornelius Quiring. I found him popping up on Reels on Instagram. I liked the way that he talked. I liked the way that he presented his little tips and tricks that were free on Reels. So I purchased one of his courses from his online store. So I want to compare the two, what I liked and maybe didn't like about each, and which one I'd recommend for you guys to get started. Would I recommend sewing as a hobby? Yes, I very much enjoy it. It's reasonably accessible. The sewing machine itself is probably your only large-scale purchase that you need to do, and you can often get those fairly cheap from Facebook Marketplace, or there are some budget options. Once you've got that, there are cheap ways to get some fabric, and from there it's fairly easy to lay down a basic stitch. The rest you're going to need to learn how to do from online tutorials, someone teaching you, or from a pattern if you're brave. But running a basic stitch, it's really just following a line and pressing a button with your foot. It's not that hard to do, it's just the putting together that's the hard bit. Now let's compare the two, starting with store-bought pattern. I did not like the store-bought pattern, straight off the bat. Let's talk about why. The instructions were very unclear, and they use a lot of language that doesn't mean anything to your beginner, and often apparently doesn't mean a lot to even experienced sewers. This means that it's very hard to get into. You're often taking breaks to Google what everything means. The instructions seem very convoluted. The diagrams aren't very clear. Even watching along with a YouTube next to it and all the Googling, some of it was impossible. And even talking to some experienced sewers about how to do this particular pattern, which, I mean, the brand is called Simplicity. I thought that it'd be a nice, easy, basic one to get going with. No, experienced sewers looked at some of these steps in this and they were perplexed. So definitely not a beginner-friendly way to get into this. Where I would have expected that you could pick a pattern off the shelf and it would have the instructions ready to go, and it would be not easy, but you could get your way through it. It would teach you the steps to go and make something for yourself. Not the case at all. It's been very difficult to put together this piece of clothing for my wife. Enjoyable, but it also took a lot of modifications to leave out certain parts that weren't working, to change it to suit. Also, the sizing is way off. My wife would normally wear a size 14. This is now made for a size 28 on the pattern size. Lots of very strange things. Not intuitive, not easy at all. I wouldn't recommend it as a starting place. Some experienced sewers use them as just a guideline, some basic shapes to use. Some more experienced sewers just make their own. If you get to that stage, that's something for you to figure out. I don't know where I would go. That all seems very complicated to me at this stage. But I think it's worth learning to sew, even just to repair your own stuff. But you're not learning that out of a pattern anyway. Next would be the online tutorial. As I said, I bought this from Cornelius Quiring at cornelius.oo. Very cool little domain name he's got there. And I bought his circle skirt course. In this course, he doesn't give you a pattern. He teaches you how to draw the pattern to your own measurements, which is very interesting because it lets you know why you're doing everything that you're doing, and he teaches you everything along the way. Every step is very clear, well explained, clear language, very well shot from a video standpoint. I haven't had a single issue so far with any of it. A little bit pricey, which may turn some people away from it, but I would say it's worth every cent. It's so clear, so well done, and at the end of it, it comes out with a great product. So I would definitely recommend a tutorial over a pattern. I don't think a pattern is beginner friendly. A tutorial, especially from someone that knows what they're doing and knows how to teach well, like Cornelius, is definitely the way to go. So all that being said, they're probably the two ways that I know how to get into this. I would recommend sewing. As I said, even just to learn it as a skill to repair things, make utilitarian items. But it's an enjoyable way to spend some time as well. And you get something out of it that you can use, that you can gift to someone, that you can make for someone that you love. So why not? It's a good little pastime that people have been doing for a long time for a reason. So that's my recommendation, is just don't use these to get in. Find someone that knows what they're talking about to teach you, whether in person or online. But not me. I'm still learning. But learn along with me. It's good fun. See you next time.